So, good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be making some drop shot LEDs in a variety of sizes. I've got this new mould and I'm going to take you on a journey with me as I make these LEDs. So I'm going to run you through the list of equipment that I use, and first thing I'm going to say to you is safety first. Okay, this is hot molten lead you're dealing with, so if you're unsure of how to do this, then you may be better off just going to a tackle shop and buying your own LEDs. I've been making my LEDs for 40 years, so I've got a bit of experience of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to run through all my equipment I'm going to be using, and then I'll put you on the stand and I'll run through and make some lead weights for you. So I'm going to flip you around and we'll run through the equipment and we'll get started. Lit them, there's a valve here and you can actually pressurize it. Takes a few pumps to do that. Goes without saying you need to do this in a well ventilated space. Right, so in a little while the flame will go down, as you can see. So what I'm doing now is I'm placing the lead onto the top of there, and I'm just going to wait for that to melt. So in the meantime, I'm going to take my butane and I'm going to heat the mould up. So you need to heat the mould up before you actually pour the lead into it. The swivels go in this side and then you pour the molten lead through these holes on the top. So just going to make sure that the vice is set virtually there, which is good. And I'm going to then heat the mould up. This is where you're going to need your gloves on. So all I'm doing now is just playing flame over the mould. Got to be a little bit careful because these are aluminium, so if you get them too hot they'll obviously melt, which is, you don't want that. I'm just playing it over there. And the moulds I'm going to be making today are going to be the 2, 4, the 6 and the 8 gram. On the previous videos I've been using just a string of SSG as a ledger, and if you've seen those videos on Angler's Realm, then hopefully you will have liked them and subscribed. But I'm just going to use these. It's going to streamline the setup a little bit, look a little bit more professional. So all we really need to do now is just heat this mould up, do a couple of test pieces. Normally the mould doesn't or isn't hot enough, so trial and error. Once you poured a few leads, then the mould heats itself up, and then you will need your leather gloves to pick the mould up, obviously. So I had a good day yesterday, went out for a few hours down to the river, which is video number 4, and I took some worms yesterday. So I bumped the trout off virtually 5 minutes of casting in, changed the hook length, and then caught a pair of lovely roach. They were 8 ounces and 6 ounces a piece, and then came home again. Short sessions. Let me know what you think of that video. If you've got any suggestions, comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section on the video, and I'll endeavour to get back to you and answer them. Okay, so I'm just heating this up. The initial lead melting on here takes a little while. It's a bright day today, but it's a little bit blowy, so I'm sure I'll have to do this a couple of times. There's one other piece of equipment that I forgot to mention. You need a pot to actually put the debris off the top of the lead into. So this is an old sort of iron pot we've got, melting quite nicely now, as you can see. So I'm just waiting literally for this to melt before we get going. I'll bring you right back, guys. So the lead has melted now, so what I'm going to do, so I've got my safety equipment on, I'm just going to scoop over the top of the lead, and I'll show you. This is the sort of impurities that come off the top of the lead, so you need to remove as many of those as you can before you start, and you're going to you continue to do this throughout the process. Okay, bring you in so you can have a look at the molten lead. And as you can see, that is hot, it's shiny now. So we're ready to start our process before I place in a few of the swivels. So what I'm going to probably do, the first 2 leads that I cast, I'm not going to put any swivels in. I'm just going to pour the lead in and see how they turn out. Normally the first 2, the mould is inevitably not hot enough, so I don't want to waste the swivels, so I'm just going to do a 2 or 3 with no swivels in at all. So this is why you need your gloves, because these are actually going to be hot now. So you put your mould together like so, and obviously when the swivel's in there, you would ensure that the swivels are located in the correct location. So with your ladle, you take a good amount of lead, more than you think you're going to need, and then slowly but positively pour in the moulds. Now I know that that's run through there, I can see it, so let's take this out. This is where your pliers come in handy to pick up your lead, because your lead will harden as it hits the code metal of the vise, and you can pop it back into the pan. Just a word of warning, if you pop your lead into water, whatever you do, do not then throw it back into this pan, because it will spit at you, and the last thing you want is molten lead coming out at you. Okay, so there's the first set of moulds. Now surprisingly they've come out okay, they're all formed, so that's good. So that tells me the mould is actually hot enough. So what I'm going to do now is pop this lead back into the pot, put a couple of swivels in, and then cast some weights. So you can either pop the lead back in there, this is probably the safest way to do it, and just drop it in there like so. Just be safety conscious at all times. Okay, so I'm just going to take my gloves off for this, or one of my gloves off for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast the 2 and the 4. What happens is you put your swivel, hopefully you're going to be able to see this. And again, this is where your pliers come in handy, so hopefully you can see that. And then I'll put another one in next door to it like so, and I'll do 3 of them. So now I'm going to pop that down there. So this is where it's quite tricky, and the swivels will want to move down into the cavity. So glove back on. Now this is the tricky bit, is actually getting the mould to close on the swivels. Now I bought this kit, the swivel and the kit all together, so that these are the correct swivels for the mould. So let's see how we get on. So I'm scooping a good amount of lead. And slowly pouring. Now these are small weights, so you're obviously not going to need a lot of lead. Pop these back. And again, you are going to get some spillage, because these are, like I say, they're small moulds. Let's see how they've turned out. This is where the pliers come in handy. Right, let me show you to the camera. So this is what they've come out. So let's carry on, do some more. Now the flashing on the leads, that will be taken off in a little while. You need a file just to file that. So I'm just going to carry on now and make some more leads. Now what you can also do with your pliers at this stage, this bit on the bottom is the excess, so we can cut that off, pop that back into the container. And let's have a look, see what we've done this time. Hopefully there's 4 leads in here now. What we've done. Okay, so the last one I didn't think it had formed correctly, that last one there. But that's fine, I can use it as a slightly smaller weight. I'm not too worried about that. So again, this is where the small pliers come in handy. So just locating the swivels, because obviously this mould is now hot. So I think I'm doing 4 at a time. You've got to get the swivels located correctly in here. Sometimes you've got to take them out, turn them around so they sit properly, and there's always one that's going to be awkward. Right, So they're back in there. Gloves back on. Alright, now I've just moved them, so I think I've got to reset some of them. Oh no, they seem to be alright. Thought I'd have to reset them. Right. Let's go again. Start with the largest one first. And then hopefully... Okay, so I'm going to carry on and do a few more now, guys. Sometimes they're very hard to get out of the mode as well. So if you like this video, guys, if it was helpful, give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe. It all helps the channel grow, and the more people that actually see the channel, that allows it to expand, and I can get it out there to more people. So enjoy your angling, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.